What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we are shining our spotlight on Becky Lynch, Bodacious Becky. So, before Becky was released, I was really hoping, along with a few friends of mine, that it'd be Cyndi Lauper. Honestly, it doesn't really make sense, but Captain Lou never made sense anyways. And then we kind of realized this version of Becky is that version of Cyndi Lauper. So, I decided to go for her. Luckily, I got her. And honestly, Becky, this tech Becky, is the best one in the game. Best technician in the female roster, hands down 150%. Not just because she's new, not just because of her damage, but from the simple fact she has 4 different movesets. Yeah, you heard me correctly, 4. So, at the time of this recording, we have plus 99 MP on all of our chase cards. Whether those will be event cards, the MLC chase, or the free card that we get at the beginning of the month. This is March, almost going into April. So I think we have roughly 10 days left of 99 MP for Becky, Bianca, Rock, Nakamura, Rhea, and Kevin Owens. Those 6. So after this recording, obviously the trainers and stuff are going to change. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what she can do with the 99 and what she's going to do with the regular. So the first moveset I want to show you guys is kind of a combination. We're only really going to go with this moveset, and then we're going to switch out one move for a different one. This is her bleed setup. Now, the bleed move originally does 686,000 damage, so that's really nice. But we have our diving leg drop that deals 178,000 damage and increase your green MP by 9. Obviously, one of the best upsides to this moveset, especially since that is a 4-cost move. It's pretty insane. The reversal is our submission break. Becky and... Oh, sorry, I forgot about Bray. Bray is a part of that 99. But Becky and Bray are the only two, as of the time of this recording, that have submission break moves. They're the only two. You have one for male, one for female, which I think is perfect and needs to just stay that way. But the reversal is, while being submitted, break submission and deal 942,962 damage. Gems broken during break submission do not deal damage to the opponent. Cannot break submission when in danger. Cooldown is 1. I'm not 100% why the gem broken portion is in that, because you don't break any gems, but you do basically 1,000,000 damage to kick out, so that's pretty sweet. Our running clothesline is we're going to deal 131,130 damage and choose 7 gems to make into yellow gems. And our DDT is our bleed move. We're going to deal 134,000 damage and deal 686,000 damage to our opponent for 3 turns. Now, the plus side to all of this with the 99 is we can pump this bleed move up like nobody's business. As you can see here, we have Apollo, Striker Seth, and King Woods giving up to 266% increased bleed. We have NWO Hogan on here, so that way we can do our running clothesline. Only break 3 yellow gems, hit the get the diving leg drop charged, hit the DDT, running clothesline, diving leg drop, DDT, running clothesline, diving leg drop for a 3. So it'll be 4 times that it hits that, and then we'll use our running clothesline to blow up a majority of the board. Our belt. Our belt is nothing too fancy. I have a gem defense belt on here, which gives 3% less damage from all gems. It's shit. The Becky belt I got was not very good. Let's see if I have something to replace it. I do not, so we're up shit creek without a paddle for this one. At least on my end. But we have Full Fury 2. We have 200% going into the green move. We have almost maxed out our gem damage across here, which with this moveset really does not matter too much. The yellow gem damage and stuff like that's going to be pretty sweet, but nothing too exciting, nothing game-changing. We're looking basically at this moveset similar to Zombie Bianca with her bleed. You hit the bleed, you stack up the bleed, you blow up the board, and they will kick out most likely, because 6-star silver and 6-star bronze kick out if it's not 10 million plus on the first count, and we'll just let them bleed out. So this moveset right here, even with the 99 plus, I will put in the A tier. I'm not going to put it up any higher than that because there is a possibility of things going bad. We are going to fight Shayna Baszler because I have a vendetta against Shayna and I like abusing her as much as humanly possible. Plus, this node right here requires a Legends, so that puts our limitations on. All right, so with the 99 plus, we have everything charged. So we're going to hit the bleed first. Then we're going to hit the diving leg drop. Then we're going to hit the bleed again. So that's 2 stacks. We're going to go here, go click, click, do only 3 match because we have Hogan. So that's going to charge. Hit here. We're going to go boop on the nosy. We're going to hit the bleed again. And we're going to do it again. So that's, I think, three stacks. When it pops up again, we'll see how many we've gotten so far. Hit the diving lay drop. We are already chunking away at her health just because of the percentage. The percentage right now is 386. So we're doing close to 1 million on these. Just back to back. We're doing, 750,000. So we have 4 stacks right now. We're going to get number 3 right here, hopefully. Or hit one more, finally. Hit this one. This will be 5 stacks. We are just chunking away, especially with that gem damage. Just chunking. All right, so we have 5 stacks. We're going to go clear. Go for a wild card there for shits and giggles. And go line break here, or row break here, just for shits and giggles. Column break, sorry. That's across the board. Bleed out dead. So that's 5 stacks. So we were able to do 5 stacks. So we're able to do 10 million damage on 1 bleed shot alone. Just 10. I'm not seeing anything wrong with that. Now, let's go into phase 2 of this build. So phase 2, what we're going to do is we're going to drop Seth here. Seth is going to get dropped. Now, this is going to be for when the 99 goes away. Because all good things must come to an end. Eventually, this will not be a part of it. Luckily, we only need 1 MP trainer for this. We just need Kofi. So we're dropping our DDT down to 2 million on the bleed, obviously. And we're going to run this matchup the same way we would run it normally. So even though the moves will be charged, we will go in the sequence that we need to go into. So we're going to go diving leg drop. We're going to hit our bleed. Now, this is taking just a little bit, obviously, because you have to go through so many stacks. But luckily for feud, this should be a 2-minute build-up to a 3-second pen. Luckily, hopefully. Fingers are crossed for that one. So we go down the board. We're going to hit the bleed again. Now we have 2 stacks. Go here, go here. Bada bing, bada boom. Go smack. Hit the bleed again. We're going to get a 4 stack for sure. Now we're hoping for no cascade here. Hoping for nothing to screw this up since we only have 5 slots left. Perfection. Absolute perfection. So we're going to go here. We hit that. We're going to hit the bleed one more time. And that's going to give us a 4 stack. So basically we're going to be doing 8 million bleed for 3 turns. Now, if you can do a big enough chunk where you can get them down for at least 1 little kick, bam, out. 8 million. Basically, what's going to wind up happening is the same thing with Zombie Bianca. We're going to take a giant chunk out of their life when they go and hit the pen. They're going to kick out, especially at 6-star bronze and especially at 6-star silver. They're going to kick out, they're going to do their shit, and then they're going to hit you again. So one thing that you can possibly do is you could go the absolutely rough route, which is switching off King Woods for an MP reducer. So you can do MP reducers. John Morrison's actually pretty good for this too. Yellow Moose starting MP reduced by 2. So that's good for Zombie Live matchups if they're triple yellow. It's good for indie matchups if they're going submission build. That's good for all, basically any and all yellow move users. We do have Super Stacy, we got Kali, and Hall of Fame Sheik. Basically removing the MP and everything from the other cards. Hopefully will give you at least the turn 2 to be able to restack the bleed. Because since it is 3 turns, they have the pin, their move, and then they're going to have another trigger of that on top of them when they go and get pinned again. So you'll be able to actually stack that up quite a bit for a 2-turn KO, which is pretty sweet. Now, moving on to the next moveset is going to be right here. So ultimately, diving leg drop and the running clothesline are going to stay as our 2 main moves for at least 3 of the movesets. So we have the Bexploder suplex now, which is our finisher. We're going to deal 804,000 damage, steal up to 2,778,266 health from our opponent. That's pretty sweet. That health, stealing the health of that high of caliber, very, very good. very positive for a defensive standpoint, especially if your opponent is stupid enough to go and put her into a submission. We're going to break it with our diving leg drop with a reversal. We're going to hit the Exploder to steal a bitch ton more health, and we're good to go. The main difference, excuse me, I almost burped way too loud for that one to matter. The super fun part about this is we can actually go with move damage instead of gem damage, which is pretty nice. So we're going to go down that route. And then... Okay, so I want to make this clear real quick. This setup right here, Kofi, Chad Gable, Nakamura, and NWO Hogan. This is going to be the setup if you have a Sheik plate. If you have a Sheik plate, throw that on Becky. Right now, I have my Sheik plate on Nikita, but once the plate rotation happens in 9 days, the Sheik plate is actually going to go on Becky, and I'll be running this setup. So what you do is, essentially with these trainers, Chad Gable, Kofi, Nakamura, and NWO Hogan, is you do the same concept that we did with the bleed. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the diving leg drop, building up the running clothesline. You're going to break the 3, get your diving leg drop, hit the running clothesline again. Break the 3, diving, running clothesline, break the 3. No, you're only going to do it 3 times because there's only 12 gems that need to be broken before you pin. So you're going to do it 3 times. So you're going to stack up the Sheik plate 3 times on your Exploder suplex before taking them out completely. It is a massive, massive destructive piece of the puzzle. So stupid, so silly strong. I really wish, hindsight being what it is, I really wish I had just taken the Sheik plate off of my Nikita at the beginning of this month and threw it on Becky. I had a massive oversight because I was running Becky different. I didn't even think about this. And it was brought to my attention by Simon. He's one of my subscribers. That is a solid idea to do, especially at 804,000 damage on the Exploder suplex being the base. That's insane. Then you have your 5 million steel health from Nakamura. So ultimately you're adding roughly, if it triggers properly, you're adding 804,000 with each trigger. If it's still glitchy and actually goes off of the starting damage, you're looking at millions attached. Like, I shouldn't have to bump this up any further. But since I don't have Sheik plate on there, basically what I'm doing is I'm going to move NWO Hogan off of here for green damage. So I'm going to throw on Acro R-Truth just for shits and giggles, really. But the way I just explained it 3 times with NWO Hogan is how I'm going to be running her starting next month. So that, keep your eyes open for that. It is a scary thing. The AI will mess it up because you have to go in sequence. The AI will destroy it, but at least having the Sheik plate on there, it might do something. Who knows? So, like I said, everything is still full. And to be rightfully honest, I really don't need to hit any of this if I don't want to. The Exploder suplex with 200% green move damage is now doing, with green move damage plus Chad Gable plus R-Truth is now doing 3.7 million damage. And we're stealing up to 5 million or 5.5 million health because of Nakamura. This is just sweeper action right here. Just done. Just shy of 10 million damage base. No real additives. Done. And that's with the plus 99. Without the plus 99, you're basically looking at going through our routine like I told you before. You're hitting the diving leg drop, you're hitting the finisher, you're hitting the running clothesline to fill up, and then you're hitting the finisher. It's super basic. It's rinse and repeat, which is one of the reasons why I love Becky. She is phenomenal in every way, shape, or form. Now we move on to moveset number 3. We're still utilizing the diving leg drop and the running clothesline, but we are now putting in the fireman's carry, which I'm going to upgrade real quick just for shits and giggles. The fireman's carry neckbreaker, excuse me. It deals 189,333 damage, plus 151,466 bonus damage for every yellow gem. If you have Showboat Nakamura and you have put time and energy into understanding his kit, here you go. This is just a better version of that, in my humble opinion. So we're looking at 6 MP cost here for our fireman's carry. So ultimately, you can do this one of two routes. You can either break the 3 and hope that everything works out in your favor, but we'll try it a couple of different ways. But ultimately, this is what this is going to look like with the plus 99. I'm getting ahead of myself on the other thing. Excuse me. We will come back to what I was just saying, but I was getting ahead of myself. We want to go with Goldberg for flat gem damage, especially when we're breaking them. We're going to go with... I'm sure there's multiple different answers for this, but ultimately it comes down to your preference. So right now, adding Goldberg is doing 163,000. What I previously ran with it was Cena, giving 45%. So that's going to do 219. We are also going to throw on Shane McMahon here as another little pump up of 40%. So now we're looking at 280. And then, sorry, I thought I heard something. Now 25% from Braun Strowman is now giving us 318,000. If you really want to get downright picky with this, you can actually run it like this with Santa Hogan and Cena. That will have diving leg drop ready to go since you're doing the running clothesline before the fireman's carry every single time. Really, this is not going to hurt. So I recommend kind of running it down this route. If you choose to, based off of your cards, if you do not have Shane McMahon built up, or Cena, you can throw on Kofi. Really not that big of a deal. So what we're going to wind up doing here is we're going to go into our match. And this moveset can be done multiple different ways. You can run it based on how you feel. Really, that's what it comes down to, is how you feel. But with the plus 99, this is how we're going to run this. We're going to go and spread these sons of bitches out as best as humanly possible. So we have all those spread out. There's absolutely no matches. Then we're going to hit this. Boop. That's going to fill that back up. And now we are going to make sure there is our wild card. There is our block for any cascade. Go down this route here. Walls are closing in a little bit. Bam. Now we have basically the entire board filled. We have our wild card here ready and available. Similar to what happens with Tech Cody. We have this available. Now, granted, we should have probably blocked this blue right here, but hindsight being 2020, shit happens. So we're going to smash this down. She's at 9 million health. And now she has no health. She has none. It's over. It's done. So now we just break that and we pin her. Essentially, what would happen against the 6-star silver at that point is you would do that sequence. You would have your wild card ready to go. And you would hit the wild card. She would do her damage. It would come to you. At that point, you can go and fill up what you're going to wind up doing. Excuse me while I conduct my business. What you would wind up doing is you do your 5 break. The 5 break would charge the diving leg drop and the fireman's carry neck breaker. You hit the diving leg drop to hit the running clothesline again, and you just fill in where you can fill in without breaking a single freaking thing. You fill it back up the board as best as humanly possible. If you can't use all 8 gems, you can't use all 8 gems. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. You just fill in where you can, then you hit the fireman's carry neck breaker again. Most likely the 6-star silver is done by that point, and you just kind of swipe and move on. This is her ideal build, in my opinion, without Sheik Plate. If you do not have Sheik Plate, going down this route is your best course of action. If you do have Sheik Plate, I highly recommend looking into just doing the finisher instead of the fireman's carry neck breaker. However, it is your preference. It is your prerogative. You can run this however way you see fit. The running clothesline, I get off, I think it was twice. Yeah, you do twice because you're doing wild cards. So you have it the first time and the second time. And the fireman's carry, you're going to do twice to 3 times. Yep, one or the other. You're going to do that a lot. So that's where that one comes out. Now, we're going to move on to a completely separate build of completely different things that personally I'm not a huge fan of. It does well, but I'm not a fan. And that is our triple purple. We have Flying Forearm Smash, dealing 121,000 damage, and choose a 1x5 area to swap in 2 purple gems. To disarm her, her submission generates 48 random submission gems, and we do 329,000 damage for 3 turns while the submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining submission gems turn into silence gems, and then our leg lariat, which is going to deal 161,295 plus or damage plus 75,000 damage for every silence gem and pin the opponent. The reason I do not like this, and I need to actually switch up the moves here real quick. Give me just a second. This will take but one more second. There we go. The reason I do not like this moveset, and I did it wrong again, you need to switch it back out. Give me a second here. Jesus. This is the other reason why I don't like it. It needs to be set up a very specific way. So this is exactly how you should have it set up for your screen. The disarmor goes first because it has to go first. That's going to generate your submission, and everything else is going to lower the MP. That's the end of your turn. That's one turn. The leg lariat, depending on how many gems, because there is 49 gems on the board and you're generating 48, so I mean technically you're filling the entire board here. This for a boss battle would be ideal. For a boss battle, this would be ideal. You hit the disarmor, you hit the leg lariat, you refill with a flying forearm smash, you hit it, you hit it, you hit it, you hit it, and you just recycle. And that's great. Faction feud, fucking anywhere else aside from boss battle, this does not fit my preference because you have the disarmor. You're filling up the entire board with silence gems, submission gems. Understood. However, that's turn 1. Turn 2 is a leg lariat finisher. Most likely, you're taking away probably half the health bar for the 6-star silver at this time. So that's 2 moves down with really nothing huge to talk about, really. If they blow up half the board during the submission, or they have a sub break plate, or they have an MP plate, you're basically just kind of feeding them at that point. And then the flying forearm smash, since it's a 1x5 area, that's an 8 cost. That's a 10 cost. That's an 8 cost. That's a 10 cost. So, yeah. And then with the plus 99 MP, I don't like it, but everything goes off at once. Without the plus 99 MP, it looks a little something like this. You do the disarmor, and then you do your flying forearm smash to fill in the last 1 or 2 MP for the leg lariat, and then you do your big explosion. But either way, this is the other problem with it. And I'm sorry, my enthusiasm for this has dropped quite a bit, but this is where I get kind of pissy. Is you have every moveset that we just shown off, how great and how synergistic it is. And then you have this. It's basically like you got the best the best entree and appetizer for your meal, and then you get to the dessert, and the dessert tastes like shit. That's how I feel about this. And that's just because it's my opinion. So, but there are people out there who live and die by submission moves, and they just think it's all the rage. Me personally, I just don't like it. So let me see if I have them already previous. I do. And I do. All right, so this is what it's going to look like trainer-wise, in my opinion, moving forward with Becky and the plus 99 not being there. You have Trick Xavier. You have Tech Sammy. For Tech Sammy to do 100% increased purple submission damage. Trick Xavier for another 5%. And then you have Zombie Cody for 60% silence gems and 30% purple. And then, what's this freaking bucket? Johnny Gargano, Tech Johnny, for 15% more silence gem damage. I'm sure there's going to be better trainers down the line. Maybe there's better trainer now. I don't know. I really don't. This one just does not fly with me. So we're going to get into the match, and I'm going to show you why. Now, another thing you could do with this one is you could do the Zombie Gunther plate. Zombie Gunther plate on here would make it to where you go here, fill up the board. Most likely she's going to get rid of quite a bit. Boop, boop, boop. Now, this is a 6-star bronze, so I want to make sure this is very evident. This is a 6-star bronze, so it's going to look amazing. So we're doing 128,000 from our finisher, and now doing 132,000 for our silence gems. Hit it! Yep. It's just not a lot of damage. It just doesn't... I don't know, it didn't even take out 10 mil. Didn't even take out 10 mil when we have other movesets that just do better. It's just, that moveset's just not good. It's just not. So, moving forward, this is my analysis of Becky Lynch, Bodacious Becky. Triple purple is B tier. This is what you use if you have trainer conflicts up the ass. But ultimately, if you're putting this on Becky because she's a quote-unquote backup, you really need to reconsider your terms and conditions. The number one moveset is with a Sheik plate, and that's the diving leg drop into the running clothesline into the Bexploder suplex. Just because you can hit the running clothesline enough times that it's just ridiculously strong, and you're stacking up the Sheik plate, that's a number one. That's S plus tier quality right there. Diving leg drop, running clothesline, Bexploder suplex with Sheik plate. Without Sheik plate, it's diving leg drop, running clothesline, fireman's carry neck breaker. Easy peasy lemon parcheesi. For this last boss battle, this I would actually put as S tier, not S plus, because of the simple fact that you have to be locked in as a player to make this work as effectively as humanly possible. Because you have to know every place on the board, you have to be very strategic, and you have to be very considerate of your surroundings, especially putting the stuff on the board. Because you fuck up one rotation on that, your turn's over and you did absolutely no damage. It's easy as that. For this, this last boss was yellow gems and bleed. So that's what I would put the diving leg drop, running clothesline DDT into, would be for boss battles, for bleeders. Now, if you have a conflict of trainers, you don't have the right trainers and stuff like that, the bleed setup is actually a good fallback. It's wonderfully done. You actually can do it to where you have Animal and Santa Hogan on there as your trainers, and then you can run King Woods or Kairi Sane as your coach, and Apollo Creed as your trainer, and DDT will go off first, running clothesline will fill up the diving leg drop, and then back over to the DDT, and so on and so forth. So, easy enough to get these all figured out, really not that hard. Becky is very, very good. This, like I said, diving leg drop, running clothesline, DDT is A tier, A plus, bottom low, S tier. So she has so many different movesets that it is ridiculous. She has multiple options, multiple variations. She fits to every single player in this game because of the simple fact she can be ran so many different ways to fit your playstyle. So if you get the chance to get Becky Lynch, Bodacious Becky, I highly recommend it because I know for a fact she is my number one tech. I know she'll be your number one tech too. So, with all that being said, I'm going to leave you the same way I always leave you. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you in the next video.